o'clock.
All right, go ahead and start us. All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Tuesday, April the 13th City Council meeting. I now call this meeting to order. In the absence of Councilman Mitchell this afternoon, I would just ask everyone to rise and salute and stand and face the flag. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We do not have any special recognitions or special presentations tonight, but I do want to recognize this afternoon two of our council persons that are joining us for the last time this evening, Councilman Gilbert and Councilman Oglesby. And gentlemen, I want to say what a pleasure it has been to serve with both of you. And I see your heart and the diligence that you've served this city and your community with. And I just want to tell you how proud it has been for me to be able to serve with both of you. I'd like to recognize T-Ran in the audience that's come to see his dad off. Gentlemen, if there's anything that you'd like to say at this time, I'd like to give you an opportunity to at this time. Councilman Gilbert.
Thank you, Chair. It's been an honor to serve the city of Chattanooga for 12 years and a half. It's been educational for myself and my family. I do want to thank my family personally because they've been with me all this time, and the ups and the downs of trying to serve the community is not easy. It's almost like a preacher. You got to do everything you can do to make sure your constituents is happy. So I do appreciate all of you. I will miss you. I'm not far away, rest assured of that. But I will miss all of you. I miss fellowship, like Councilman Leffler said. To sit down and to break bread makes a difference in people's lives, make a difference in mine. I get to laugh and get to say what I want to say when I want to say it, but I really appreciate all of you. And I also appreciate the administration that we have. Majority of them have done a great job, and I feel like they will do well whatever they're going to do in the rest of their life. But again, I thank all of you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Oglesby.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. It really has been an honor and a pleasure serving on this council. And first of all, I'm going to say on behalf of my wife and I really have appreciated being a part of this community. It's like nothing I never aspired to do. All my life I have served, and that's what it has been about. I believe when God put me here, he put me here as he did Jesus, to serve and not to be served. And the challenges that we faced them together, and we made great strides in improving the quality of life of everybody in this community. The times we've had between our 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock meetings has really been helpful in my personal development, because I've been a part of a lot of organizations, but this has truly been a family. You know, we've shared so much together, and we've accomplished so much together. And you know, with the administration, you know, there has been challenging times, but we always worked it out, and we put our differences behind, and we moved together as a council, and we're moving together as a city. I see with the new council coming in, nothing but a bright future. And I will want to say that, I won't say my replacement, but the next city council person for District 7, Councilwoman-elect Rakita Dotley, is going to do a phenomenal job. She's been prepping herself for this for some time, and I have worked with her for a number of years serving this community. So you're going to have a really good person coming in to join this family and help move this city forward. So with that being said, I'll always be around if you need me. If you need me. And, I'm just so thankful to God Almighty that I had this experience. Bless you all, and City of Chattanooga, the best days are ahead with this next council. And I love you all, and I'll close with that.
Thank you, sir. There were a couple of council people that were out. We had a few words at our earlier meeting today. I don't know if any of the council would like to follow up or Councilman Ledford.
Chairman, I'm not going to let the opportunity go by to wish my friends and my fellow colleagues, from day one, when I came into office, I did a little blog, what it talked about how this council was different in respect to how we think about community, how we work with each other, how we learn from each other. And I have felt that bond has only gotten stronger over the years. I'm going to miss the two of you up here on the dais, but I know that you're my friends and I love you both. And we're going to be working together in the community going forward. And this isn't the last we've seen of you, just in a different perspective from this point of view. So God bless your future endeavors, gentlemen. You've done a great service to your community and to this council, and you have truly led by example. Thank you, Chairman.
Councilwoman Coonrod.
Thank you, Chair. Earlier, we had spoke about the Brown versus the city of Chattanooga and the significance of it to Black people. And I'm saying that specifically is because I would hope that this isn't your last stop. A lot of people just look at local politics and, okay, we got the entrance way to become the city council, but we need to have representation and at every level, at the state representative, state senate, Congress, and beyond. And so, you guys are perfect candidates for each of those offices. If you choose to become advocates in every arena that you're passionate about, it can't be your last stop. I just don't see that. And I know you all are, anything that you guys put your hands on, it will produce great fruit. So I know that you guys are just a phone call away. You're where you live at public knowledge, so we all can just pull up. It's not like we don't. We know where you stay at. We can find you. So if we need you, we will come get you. We will recruit you and whatever else we need to do to help us continue to move Chattanooga forward. We are elected to serve our people. Our people. It doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter your political party affiliations. And that's what we're here to be jointly together to help move Chattanooga further than where we once were. Because there was a time where you people that look like you and I weren't able to sit up here on this dais. So again, it's been a pleasure for me. I've learned a lot from you guys. We'll continue to learn from you all. And I just wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Anyone else? All right, if not, we will move into our agenda. Could I have a motion on the minutes? We have a motion on the minutes with a proper second. Questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Burrs. Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Gilbert.
Yeah.
Councilman Ledford.
Yes.
Councilman Oglesby.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
8 yeses.
ayes have it. Moving now into ordinances on final reading. Madam Clerk, 5A, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone properties located in the 7,000 block of Shallowford Road and 2301 Rivendell Lane for R1 residential zone and RTZ residential townhouse zero lot line zone to RTZ residential townhouse zero lot line zone for a portion an O1 office zone for a portion of this site as shown on the attached map, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second on item 5A. Questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Oglesby,
Councilman Oglesby.
Councilman Ledford. Councilman Gilbert. Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs. Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes.
8 yeses.
Motion to approve carries. Madam Clerk, if you would, let's take 5B and C together, please, ma'am, if there are no objections from the council.
Item B, an ordinance closing and abandoning multiple rights of way, the 4700 through 4800 block of an unnamed alley, 200 block of Chestnut Street, and 4700 through 4800 blocks of Highland Avenue, as detailed on the attached map subject to certain conditions. Item C, an ordinance amending Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 2, Section 2, 554, competitive seal proposals.
Councilman Ledford, followed by Councilwoman Burrs. Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve items 5A, or I'm sorry, 5B and C with the proper second. Questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Burrs. Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Gilbert. Councilman Ledford. Councilman Oglesby. Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
8 yeses.
so moved. Okay, now we move into planning ordinances on first reading. Madam Clerk, if you would, let's read item or 6A, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone properties located in the 600 block of Westview Road from RT1 residential townhouse zone to R1 residential zone.
Is the applicant present on the Zoom call or in the audience? Okay. Is there any opposition on the Zoom call or in the audience? I see no opposition. Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is in your district. And if there is no opposition, sir, I'd like to move approval.
All right, very well, thank you. We have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Oglesby.
Yes.
Councilman Ledford. Councilman Gilbert.
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs. Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes.
8 yeses.
Motion carries 8-0. Now, Madam Clerk, move into 6B, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone property located at 3698 and 3710 Faith Road from R1 residential zone to RTZ residential townhouse zero lot line zone subject to certain conditions.
Okay, is the applicant present on Zoom or in the audience? Okay, in the audience. Any opposition on the Zoom call or in the audience? Would you please raise your hand at this time? Councilman Gilbert.
I spoke with, excuse me, are we gonna do the presentation before I say anything?
Would you like a presentation, sir?
It's up to the, well, I'm gonna go ahead. I spoke with one of my constituents that live near there, and they had some concerns with the way it was posted for the yellow sign. They didn't know in advance. They would have been at the county commissioner, and then they would like to sit down with the developer to find out the site plan, to see what it looks like, what can be worked out. So I'm gonna defer this for a month to May the 11th.
Did you say May 11th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to defer until May the 11th. Now with the proper second, any questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Burrs. Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Gilbert.
Yes.
Councilman Ledford. Councilman Oglesby. Vice Chairman Smith. Chairman Henderson.
Yes.
8 yeses.
Motion to defer until May the 11th carries. Now, Madam Clerk, 6C, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone property located at 4200 Willard Lane from R3 MD moderate density zone and R4 special zone to R3 residential zone, subject to certain conditions.
Is the applicant present on Zoom or in the audience? Would you raise your hand at this time? Is there any opposition present on Zoom or in the audience? Would you please raise your hand at this time? Councilman Gilbert? I'm not
No.
seeing an applicant nor opposition.
Sir, I would like for Mr. Ingram to get with the neighborhood association, that's Lake Hills. I don't think he knew that, and give him a 2 weeks out. So it'd be April the 27th.
You say April the 27th, sir?
Yes.
Okay. All right, is that deferral in the form of a motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to defer until April the 27th with a proper second. Questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman Oglesby. Yes. Councilman Ledford. Yes. Councilman Gilbert.
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Byrd. Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
8 yeses.
motion carries. Now, Madam Clerk, 6D, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone part of a property located in the 6100 block of Highway 58 from R1 residential zone to C2 convenience commercial zone, subject to certain conditions.
Okay, is the applicant present with us on Zoom or in the audience? Would you please raise your hand at this time? Very well. Is there any opposition present on Zoom or in the audience? Would you please raise your hand at this time? Councilwoman Burrs,
Move to approve.
Second.
we have a motion to approve with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Byrd. Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Gilbert. Councilman Ledford. Councilman Oglesby. Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
8 yeses.
motion carries. Madam Clerk, 6E, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone properties located at 2500 Coward Street in the 2500 block of William Street and in the 200 block of West 26th Street from R3 residential zone to UGC urban general commercial zone, subject to certain conditions.
All right, is the applicant present with us on Zoom or in the audience? Okay, thank you. Is there any opposition present with us on Zoom or in the audience? Would you please raise your hand at this time? Councilman Oglesby, I'm seeing an applicant, but no opposition, sir.
I move for approval.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Councilman Leverard? Sure. Okay. For the record, the applicant is okay with the conditions. Now, we have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Any questions, comments from the floor? If not, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman Oglesby. Councilman Ledford. Councilman Gilbert. Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Byrd. Vice Chairman Smith. Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
8 yeses.
so moved. Now, Madam Clerk, 6F, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone property located at 2203 Milne Street from R1 residential zone to R2 residential zone.
Is the applicant present with us on Zoom or in the audience? Would you please raise your hand at this time? All right, is there any opposition present with us on Zoom or in the audience? Would you please raise your hand at this time? Councilman Byrd, I'm not seeing an applicant nor any opposition, sir.
Yes, I haven't received any negative feedback from this. With that, I move to approve.
Very well. We have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Questions or comments before we vote? Councilwoman Coonrod, did you have? Okay. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Burrs, Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod, Councilman Gilbert, Councilman Ledford, Councilman Oglesby, Vice Chairman Smith, Chairman Henderson,
Yes.
8 yeses.
Motion to approve carries 8-0. Now, Madam Clerk, 6G, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone property located at 2218 Bailey Avenue from R2 residential zone to UGC urban general commercial zone, subject to certain conditions.
Is the applicant present with us on Zoom or in the audience? Would you please raise your hand? Okay. Is there any opposition present on Zoom or in the audience? Would you please raise your hand at this time? Councilwoman Coonrod, I am seeing an applicant, but no opposition. Tell you what, Madam Clerk, would you bring in Mr. Bridger, please? Oh, Mr. Vice Chair, okay. All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Bridger.
Afternoon.
You almost got out of any work this afternoon. Item 6G, Councilwoman Coonrod would like the conditions read, please.
Okay, I will be happy to do that. Let me pull that up. Just 1 second. There are 3 conditions for this request. Those 3 conditions are residential uses only, no more than 5 residential units, and a maximum height of 3 stories.
Mr. Vice Chair, would you bring in Matt Wingett, please?
Hey, how are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Wingett. Did you hear the conditions that were read, sir?
I did.
And are you?
And we're
agreeable?
fine with that. Yes, yes.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve with conditions and a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Burrs, Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod, Councilman Gilbert, Councilman Ledford, Councilman Oglesby, Vice Chairman Smith, Chairman Henderson,
Yes,
8 yeses.
motion carries. All right, I think that is the last planning item that we have. Mr. Vice Chair, you can excuse Mr. Bridger. Madam Clerk, 6H, please.
An ordinance closing and abandoning an unopened sewer easement located in the 300 block of Tremont Street as detailed on the attached map, subject to certain conditions.
All right, what is the pleasure of the council? Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman Oglesby. Yes. Councilman Ledford. Yes. Councilman Gilbert. Yes. Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs. Yes. Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
8 yeses.
motion carries. Madam Clerk, let's take under resolutions at this time. 7A, please.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Economic and Community Development to enter into an agreement with Chat 10 LLC, the Chat Inn, for non-congregate COVID-19 related housing for up to 100 households currently experiencing homelessness for a 90-day period beginning April 13, 2021, and ending July 12, 2021, with an option to extend the agreement if funds are not expended for an additional 90-day period for a FEMA reimbursable amount not to exceed $341,250.
What is the pleasure of the council? Is there a motion on the floor? Hearing no motion, the resolution fails for lack of a motion. Madam Clerk, 7B, please.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Economic and Community Development to enter into an agreement with Security Engineers, Inc., SEI, for non-congregate COVID-19 related security services at the Chat Inn for up to 100 households currently experiencing homelessness for a 90-day period beginning April 13, 2021, and ending July 12, 2021, with an option to extend the agreement if funds are expended for an additional 90-day period for a FEMA reimbursable amount not to exceed $62,100.
All right, what is the pleasure of the council? Do I hear a motion on the floor? Hearing no motion, this resolution fails for lack of a motion. All right, Madam Clerk, 7C, please.
A resolution waiving the fee for use of Rouse's Landing estimated at $26,000 by Friends of the Festival Riverfront Nights Free Community Summer Music Series beginning on Saturday, June 5, 2021, and each Saturday through August 28, 2021.
Councilman Oglesby, followed by Councilman Ledford.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. This resolution is going to go a long way as we begin to open our city, where we create opportunities for us to all come together and begin to socialize and to show what a great city we are as we come to relating to each other. So for that statement, I move that we approve this resolution.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? All right, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Byrd. Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Gilbert. Councilman Ledford. Councilman Oglesby. Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
8 yeses.
so moved. Madam Clerk, we now come to 7D, please.
A resolution authorizing the city attorney to obtain an interpretation from the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Tennessee on certain provisions of the court order in Brown v. City of Chattanooga, CIV 187-388, on the residency requirements for sworn emergency personnel, and to draft suggested language revisions to the city charter at section 3.1.1, which could be placed on the ballot for a charter referendum if it is not contrary to the January 18, 1990 court order in Brown v. City of Chattanooga at this time.
Councilman Ledford, followed by Councilwoman Byrd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We discussed this and had very, very important conversation at our earlier session this afternoon. And I want to applaud the conversation moving forward and exploring what we can do on several levels concerning the recruitment of our sworn personnel. And with that, I'd like to move to approve.
Councilwoman Byrd.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think this is a very important issue, but and there was great discussion. However, I think we need the legal aspect addressed first before we go forward. So it becomes very important that the city attorney get that opinion. Thank you very much. With that, I second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Very well, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman Oglesby.
Yes.
Councilman Ledford. Councilman Gilbert.
No.
Councilwoman Coonrod.
Yes.
Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Byrd. Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
That's 7 yeses.
motion carries 7-1. Council, 7E, please.
A resolution for the city of Chattanooga to apply for and if awarded, accept a grant award for up to $4 million from the United States Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, Office of the Assistant Secretary for Health, for the funding opportunity advancing health literacy to enhance equitable community responses to COVID-19.
Councilman Gilbert, followed by Councilwoman Burrs.
Or to approve.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Questions or comments before we vote? All right, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Burrs, Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod,
Yes.
Councilman Gilbert,
Oh, you, okay, I didn't see your hand up, sir. Councilman Gilbert?
I remember we made a comment last week to change the people that brought this forward. Is that still gonna be on there or?
It was added last week with the permission of the chair in that regard. Both you and Councilwoman Burrs had requested to be sponsors in that regard, but it was added with the request of the chair last
Okay.
week. Yes, sir.
I approve. Thank you. Yes.
Councilman Ledford.
Yes.
Councilman Oglesby,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
That is 8 yeses.
so moved. All right, Madam Clerk, if there are no objections from the council, I would like to now take under Public Works and Transportation, items 7F through K.
Item F, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to enter into a public-private partnership, P3, with Waterways, a local nonprofit for a stream restoration project on Mountain Creek, south of Morrison Spring Road, with the city's contribution for in-kind services for payment of the design portion of the project and the FEMA flood study through an existing blanket contract for a total project cost of $54,850. Item G, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to award contract number W160220201 MBWWTP Equalization Basin and Blower Replacement Improvements Project, a non-consent decree project to J. Cumbie Construction, Inc. of Cookeville, Tennessee, for a contract amount of $27,685,500 with a contingency amount of $1,384,500 for an amount not to exceed $29,700,000. Item H, a resolution authorizing payment to Hamilton County GIS relative to addressing services for fiscal year 2022, according to the addressing memorandum of understanding between the city of Chattanooga and Hamilton County dated May 19, 2006, for an amount not to exceed $68,348. Item I, a resolution authorizing administrator for the Department of Public Works to enter into an interlocal agreement memorandum of understanding with Hamilton County for the 2021 aerial photography update of the planimetric GIS base map data set to provide an updated GIS and engineering building footprints, impervious surfaces, and other base mapping data for a cost not to exceed $133,000. Item J, a resolution accepting the qualification for the on-call blanket contracts for the GO Environmental Consulting and Construction Materials Testing Services, contract number E21002 to 301 for a one-year blanket contract with 3 additional one-year renewable options with the following 7 consulting firms: 1 Geo Services LLC, 2 Geosyntec Consultants, 3 KS Ware and Associates LLC, 4 S&ME Inc., 5 Snantec Consulting Services Inc., 6 Terracon Consultants Inc., and 7 Thompson Engineering Inc., based upon the 3 services categories of geotechnical, construction materials testing, environmental services that each consultant has qualified for on an annual amount of $500,000 to be used by all departments. And item K, a resolution authorizing the Chattanooga Department of Transportation to erect commemorative secondary street name signs on Bliss Avenue from Lotta Street to Crutchfield Street, designating said portion of Bliss Avenue as Bishop James M. Scott Senior Avenue.
Councilman Byrd,
Move to approve.
Second.
we have a motion on the floor to approve items F through K with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman Oglesby,
Yes.
Councilman Ledford, Councilman Gilbert,
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod,
Yes.
Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson,
Yes,
8 yeses.
motion to approve does carry. Now, council, if you would pull out your purchase items for this afternoon, Mr. Vice Chair, would you bring in Mr. Sammons, please? Good afternoon, Mr. Sammons.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of council. We have one purchase item for your approval this afternoon, along with one regular emergency purchase that will be coming from the Youth and Family Development Department. The purchase today is coming from the Waste Resource Division of Public Works. Valve actuator services being awarded to Industrial Valve Sales and Service for an estimated annual cost of $100,000. And that completes the regular purchases for today.
Thank you, Mr. Sammons. What's the pleasure of the council? Councilman Ledford.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve tonight's purchase with a proper second. Questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Burrs,
Yes.
Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod,
Yes.
Councilman Gilbert,
Yeah.
Councilman Ledford, Councilman Oglesby,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson,
Yes,
8 yeses.
motion carries. All right, Mr. Sammons, we have an emergency purchase, sir.
Yes, Ms. Angela Hayes from our Head Start division will present that. If you could bring her in, please.
Bring in Angela Hayes, please. Good afternoon, Ms. Hayes.
Good afternoon, Chair, and good afternoon, Council. For your consideration, the Department of Youth and Family Development is requesting approval for an emergency purchase to DW Construction in an amount not to exceed $33,634 for repair work to replace flooring at the YFD Daisy Head Start site. The vendor, DW Construction, anticipates that it will take approximately 1 week to complete the project, which includes reconstruction of flooring, the flooring system, and replacement of the flooring from the building's main entrance and the hallway leading to 5 classrooms and a supply closet. This really started out, was expected to be a small project that the YFD maintenance staff could accomplish, and it suddenly mammoth into a more substantial project. The expeditious completion of this work would return this space to a safe condition as soon as possible, minimizing a loss of childcare service to families and classroom learning time for 110 children that are currently enrolled in our Daisy Head Start program. If there are any questions.
I'm not seeing any questions at this time. Ms. Sullivan, is that, since we're back in chambers, is that something that needs to be signed in front of the council?
Yes.
Sir, yes, it does. And we do have a copy of that document. Your clerk, Ms. Gwen, has the copy of that. She did, I thought, have a copy.
Is it going to be signed here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I will sign on behalf of Coach Jennings.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Okay.
I I'm sorry, I don't have a copy of it. So if we want to just use one, I thought Nicole was going to have the copy. I'm sorry, Nicole. So if we want to have one copy and I can get it started. Thank you.
Oh, okay, here we go. Councilman Ledford, bring it. I'll tell you what, instead of passing that around, why don't we just present it to the clerk to enter into the minutes rather than everybody handling it? Yeah. Thank you. All right, Mr. Sammons, does that conclude our purchases for this evening?
It does.
All right, thank you very much. Ms.
Thank
Hayes?
you.
Vice Chair, you can excuse our guest. All right, we come now to committee reports. Councilwoman Burrs.
No report, sir.
Councilman Byrd.
Thank you, Chair. We received a quarterly report from our park board today, and we had also got insight from our residency from the Chattanooga Police Department and the Fire Department today.
Thank you. Councilwoman Coonrod.
No report.
Councilman Gilbert.
No report.
Vice Chair Smith.
No report, Mr. Chair.
Councilman Ledford. Councilman Oglesby.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Today, we had a great Economic and Community Development Committee meeting where we discussed CDBG funding and ESG funding recommendations. And we talked about the great work that they're doing in that area. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. We now come to the time where we recognize persons wishing to address the council. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council at this time? Okay. All right, we have a couple. Mr. Attorney, would you read the rules to engage the council, please?
Yes, sir. The council has adopted rules that we're dealing with in this time here of COVID and actual meetings. At the end of each business meeting, the chairperson will recognize the members of the public that wish to address them. Each speaker here today would need to come to the microphone that's provided up front for that purpose. Provide your name, address, and council district before addressing the council. You can't have more than 3 minutes to speak. And you can address the council only upon matters within their legislative and quasi-judicial authority and not upon matters that are not under their authority or regulated by other governmental bodies or agencies. Don't use any vulgar or obscene language, nor use the floor to personally attack or personally denigrate others, and address the council as a whole, not towards individual council members. Please come forward, sir, and talk.
As the audience, as someone in the audience would like to come forward and speak, let me ask that anyone on our Zoom meeting that has registered to speak that would like to do so at this time, if you'd go ahead and raise your hand so that we could get ready to recognize you as well. All right, sir, if you'd give us your name and district number, you can go ahead. Hold on one second.
Yes.
Let me get the timer up. Mr. IT. Give us 3 minutes on the timer, please. All right, we're good to go.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Council. Monty Bell, the homeless journalist, the gray-haired fox. I'd like to say to the council, it's rather eerie being here tonight, not just because of COVID, but being one of the 16 candidates, unprecedented, 16 people running for the office of the mayor. We have a runoff today, and I'm not in that runoff. It's very, very eerie. One of the things before I get to hopefully the wonderful meeting by Councilman Byrd is the fact that Money Bell Homeless Relief Act of 2021 This was my campaign pitch. I never got a chance to do it. But what it is, it's for all of the homeless people like myself to receive the stimulus money, all three stimulus checks, the $3,200. There are certain conditions, which when I entered the race, and many people knew that Monty Bell was going to enter the race for the mayor, was that we had to decide how we were going to use the community kitchen as my residency. That residency issue became one of the conditions in order for the homeless to receive the stimulus money. When I contacted the national offices that were responsible for making sure that we had local sites, I was taken back by the fact that our local urban league, along with our Second Missionary Baptist Church, along with two facilities out in Eastgate, had been chosen by the United States government for these sites, which we never heard from any of the aforementioned. I never spoke with this Monty Bueller. I never spoke with his attorney, Lee Davis. But at a January 13th hearing, I did hear from our city attorney, who stated that it was impossible for them to disqualify Monty Bell based on residency and residency alone. That was the ridiculous challenge. It cost me an opportunity. It cost me a job. It cost me the relief almost that we're seeking. But a couple of weeks ago, we had a visit to my campsite, my homeless campsite by Councilman Anthony Byrd, of which as of today, we didn't receive any of the bags, the dumpsters, or the porta potties. And I'm not sure, based on the resolutions tonight, if we are actually included in the resolutions that you all said absolutely nothing about. So with the time remaining, a few seconds, Councilman Byrd, what am I going to take back to the campus right down the street?
Let me ask you not to address a council person specifically.
Well, to the council as a whole, what can I take back to my encampment right down the street? We've been awaiting trash bags, we've been awaiting dumpsters, and we've been awaiting these porta potties and a move to the Chat Inn on 23rd Street. So what do,
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bell. Your time is Councilman Byrd, did you have a comment you want to make?
Yes, sir. After the meeting, Mr. Brook, Mr. Munty, I will sit down and talk with you about what's going on, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. And thank you again, Council.
Anybody else in the audience that would like to address the council? All right, give us 3 minutes back on the clock, please.
Well, I just,
We all know your name, but we need it for the record.
yes, I am T. Rand Gilbert. I am the son of City Councilman Russell Gilbert. I'm gonna just say a legend. People come and go, people die, and they pass away. And we give people their roses when they're dead, most of the time. But this is your time, Dad, to have your roses while you're alive, because no one cannot take away 12 years that you have put into this city, 12 years and a half that you have helped a lot of people to become greater than where they are at now. You have helped people become the best version of themselves. I'm so proud and thankful to know that I have a father that is Black history. You have celebrated other people, and this is your celebration. And just know that this is not the end of your celebration, because we're going to continually to honor you in Chattanooga, Tennessee, for everything that you have done. You have been a politician that have not just gave promises. You are a politician that has done the work, and everything that you say you're going to do, you've done it. And that makes me proud, because we live in a society sometimes that people just give you smoke and people just tell you one thing and then they do another. But you are a man of integrity, and I'm proud to be your son. And I'm proud to know that I can be able to know that I have a father that has led a legacy and is leaving a legacy. And I'm going to make sure that your legacy will not die. And I know I'm speaking for your 10 grandkids my mother, Terry Gilbert, and your 5 children that came from you, that we are so proud and we're so thankful for you. So I love you, Dad. And thank you, because I would not be the man I am today without you being the best role model and the best mentor and the best teacher and the best dad and the best friend. I love you, and let's continue to make history. 22 Vision, we here.
Something special when those that know us best love us the most. Come on.
Good evening, council. I'm Mickey McCamish, Friends of the Festival, Riverfront Nights. You know, I never missed a ship getting underway. I always always aboard the ship plenty of time, but the ship got underway without me this afternoon, and I miss tossing all the lines off. And I just wanted to come before council. Thank you, Councilman Oglesby. Thanks for the text back to me. I really appreciate the action of the council. And as soon as councilman had texted me, I got down here just as quickly as I could, just in case there was any questions about Riverfront Nights, about what we're trying to do and a pathway to try to reopen our city. Sort of like putting your toes in the ocean with a smaller event like Riverfront Nights before you lead into a Riverbend Festival much later in the year. And I really appreciate the action that Councilman texted to me. And I'm just sorry I wasn't here in person for any debate, and wanted to come before council, apologize, and let them know I never missed the ship getting underway, except I was a little late on this one.
Yeah, I think that was that was our doing, sir. Thank you.
Well, no, sir, it's up to me to make sure that I'm on top of things like that. It's attention to detail.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Anybody else in the audience that would like to address the council this afternoon? Council, I'm not seeing anybody in the audience or in our Zoom call. What is your pleasure?
Adjourn.
You're adjourned.